So basically um which particular file that takes those styles? I don't think it's this one. Now this is the continuation of the last video that we were doing. So this is the continuation of the last video we were doing, and okay, our style is this why is it not taking effect? Next, let's CSS. Where is my colors? Don't we have, isn't it this one? Oh, so what happened? Okay. So I'll just copy the name of this. Then paste it here. Okay. So this is where we stop. So the last thing we did was we talked about alignment, text alignment. So today we're going to be continuing from that side. So I'll create another div. So coming over to this place, so we have next thing we have here is text decoration, right? Now text decoration allows us to add decoration to our text, right? Allows us to add decorations. So basically things like italicization. So let's say you don't want to do okay, sorry. Something drafted took my attention for a while. So now text declaration allows you to add decorations to HTML property. What's happening? So it allows us to add decorations to HTML property. So now let's go through some of the decorations that we can add. So first of all, we have our div as usual to separate. So comment text decoration. Text decoration. So we do div, and then we have our p text decoration. So I want to decorate something like hello world. Let me see, this is a text now. So to decorate this, we have a couple of options. So style as usual, so text decoration, text decoration. Now this adds for this one if I want to add underline, so let's see. I'm going to show a couple of things you can add. So this is underline. You can add overline. You can do line through. You can do none. Let's say it has a specific decoration, but you don't want it to have that decoration. Sometimes you want to remove the default style of a text, so you can do none. So this is what we have on that text decoration. So this one is the first one. This one adds the underline. So this is what we have here. This is a text. I guess probably let me add what it's doing at this place. Underline, overline, to add text on the top, to add line on the top, line through, none. None basically does nothing, like just takes out, if it has a default style, it takes away those default style. So let me refresh so you see it again. So this is it for text decoration. Addition. What happened? Where is this? Hello. Where is this coming from? Okay. Wow. We've already talked about it. I say a plus. So now the next one is let's have the next one. Next one is, so let me bring this up again. So the next one is opacity. Okay, not opacity. Text decoration. So we've done text decoration. Line height. Now line height help you to control the text between the space between text. So by increasing different line height, so for example by default, so we have this px. Okay, so let me just show you an example though, so it's better to show. Wait. Let me pick up something here. Okay. So see what we have. Okay, so let's do line height. So line height, so we do we'll put our line height at the top. Line height. So basically it helps control the space between text. I'll just have it here. And then let's move into the code. So let's have two text. We have P. I'll call this text 1, text 1, text 2. So style. So style, you have line height. This, so you can increase it by, you can do, maybe let's say that's the default, you can do 5 px. Let's see how it's going to look. Okay, I said 5, I wrote 4. It's not showing. Okay. So notice like the gap between here has more space than this one, right? So the line has, so it takes, so basically if I can't do this here, I think, can I let me show you something. Let me try to IGI. Will it work? Okay. So notice something here now. Notice that like this guy has larger space between, so it gives a space between the top and the bottom. So it's giving 4 px on the top, 4 px on the down, right? Wow, 4 means 16, so from here it's 16 px on the top, 16 px on the bottom. That's what we have here. So when we put line height, automatically add speed between, so it makes this guy has in the x axis, if you're using graph, plotting graph, like the x axis, the top and bottom to have space, more space. So that's it for line height. Now in the next one we have letter spacing. I'm going to shift this guy to this side again. I don't know why can't I not showing. Okay. So letter spacing. Letter spacing allows us to add space, right, between two letters. It's not showing again. So okay, so letter spacing allows us, so please don't forget it's like this, allows us to control space between characters in a text. High value increases the what's it called, the higher the value increases the space between characters. So I'll comment this out, shift. Now so we have p tag. So let me just do room. Does it work? Nope. So if you do comma, how are you doing? So we want to increase the letter spacing here. We want to increase the letter spacing here. So to increase the letter spacing, basically you just have come to this place, add as usual style letter spacing. So you can add as much as you want. Let's say let's do 6px. Let's see how it's going to look. How many minutes? Okay. So let me get water. So sorry, I'm back. So it increases the letter spacing between these two. right? Now margin allows us to add. Okay, I think at this point we need our notes. So Figma, let's go to Figma file. There was this one we were using. Okay, let's open up this. Let me show you guys something. Now every text has two type of box. Like every text that you see on this page has what's it called? I don't know. Has an imaginary box. Every text that's on this, everything that you have on this page, on your web page, has an imaginary box. Now, okay, so for this class, I'm going to create a new note, a new board sheet, right? So now let's say we have the text of, okay, it's not, it's in black. So I'll increase it first. Let me add black, and then let me increase it to something. Okay. Now everything we have on the page has two boxes. So first of all, we have the inner box and the outer box. Sorry. What? So make this red, because this is the inner box. So the outer box, the bigger one, will make it blue. Let's make it this color. So this is how every element you place on your this thing is structured, right? Every element you find on a web page, every element here has this box. Now we have the inner box and the outer box. Now let me put it up here. This is called the outer box. Let me still make this yellow. Let's drag it in. Let's drag it to the front. Yes, the text is too big. Let's make it okay. Let's make it white back, and then this is the inner box. I guess I'll copy this and then inner box. So outer box, inner box. Now for you to be able to shift an element, to shift the element within the outer box, we use what we call margin. Margin allows us to add space to this outer box. Then padding allows us to add space in this inner box. Let me give it a different color. Okay. Now, whenever we want to add space to this outer color, because as I said, that each element has two boxes, the inner box and the outer box. Now, this outer box represents when you want to add space. So most of the times, you have too much, like let's say this has a box, so this has two boxes here, the inner box and the outer box. This guy has the inner box, outer box. This guy has inner box, outer box. Now, when you want to shift it inside between these two, use margin. When you want to shift it inside within itself, use padding. So let's just put it in place. So I'm going to do something here. So for me to be able to explain this, I'm going to use another CSS property called border. So I'll add border, and then within that border, I'll be able to show you guys how. So first of all, let's do border first before we talk about margin and padding. So border allows us to add border to elements, right? So now let's say we have okay, I'll have a div. Good. So the best this is this. So a div v. So inner. So we call this text, some text. So now I want to add border to this place, to the entire everything here. So I'll put border. Now every property, most of this property that we have in CSS allows some of them allows us to, instead of defining property one after the others, like something like, let me see, border let's see, border color or something like this, one after the other, I can actually write all of them, putting them together at the same time. So I can just do, first of all, I do how many px, so how many percent of border, like the thickness of the border. So I'll be like, I want 2px solid border. So, and I want it to be solid. We have dashed, we have double, different border type, but this time around I want to use solid. And then we have the color of the border, so I want it to be red, right? So let's see how it's going to look. Some text. So we have that border here. So we already have our border here. So nothing much. So I want to add another text so that I'll be able to show you the difference between. So this one is called text 1. Let's add this one, text 2. Now let's say I want to move this element, the outer border. So when you see outer border, I mean everything outside. To shift it outside, the only thing I have to do here is to do margin. Now margin also allows us to you can either define what's it called, things around margin one after the other, or we can do it together. And let's do it one after the other, then we'll still show you how to do it together. I can do margin top, that's for the top. Let's say 20px, and let's say 10px, so it doesn't, not that much. And then we do margin bottom, that's the space beneath, in the bottom, sorry. So bottom, so 10px. What's happening? So you suggested something. Bottom 10px 2. And let's see what's going to happen here. Why is it not moving? What's happening? Did I made any mistake? solid. Okay. We are now back. You guys should also be careful. So the reason why it did not show that I had something here, and notice like basically this doesn't change. It's not the same color with this. So and as well as like just be careful with your code. So as little as this end now can keep you on your code for like 3 hours, like basically 2 days, and it's not joke. Why am I not seeing change? Okay, let me increase this to margin top 15px. Okay, let's do 20px. Let's use 20px here too. Okay, let me just check. What's happening? Is margin not? Did I spell it wrong? Wow. Okay. What's happening? Wow. What's happening? Wait. Why is it not going? Oh, let's check. Still not showing. Guys, I don't know what I did wrong here, but it's supposed to work. Give me a sec. Wow. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's not showing. I don't know why. It was from some weird reasons. I can't tell why it's not working. Well, okay. See what happened. Let's just move this to this side. Let's see. Style. You know why? I'm shocked. Wow. It has been working, but I don't know, for some reason I didn't even notice. So it's like we had extra space here. I guess maybe probably because of the border. That was why I didn't notice it was working since, right? So it had extra space at the top of this. Okay, so let me make this 42. Let me see. Okay, it's working though. But I didn't notice, maybe because of the border that I had here. That was why I didn't really notice. So it had 40 lines, 40 pixels. So it's adding space in between. Now if I want to do padding, yes. Wait. Let me take this guy back. Because why won't it work? Margin. So we're already on the left, so we do margin left. Let's do 50px 2. Okay, I guess it was actually happening at the top, but I didn't really I didn't notice it that much, but I don't know why. But okay, basically Now we did what's it called, margin left, so it shifts 40 px to the left, right? Now margin actually, so this is the outer space I wanted to show you guys, so it moves like the outer space. Now let's try having padding. I said padding adds in the inner space, so padding gives space in the inner, not the outside, inside. So now if I should add padding, see, padding, I don't know how best to describe this, but just know, just have this at the back of your mind that margin has space outside, while padding has space inside. So let's do padding top. So let's do 40 px. It's close. Let's see. So you notice like there's so notice something. So okay, yes, very good. This is very distinct. Now this will show you what I was saying. Now when I did margin top here, it added space outside here, 40 px. When I did padding top, added space inside here. If I do padding left, let's do padding left, so I'll show you more to tell you that it's outside. Padding left, so 40 px to 40 px. So let's see what's going to happen. So we have space inside here, not outside. Even if I should remove even if I remove this margin left, we still have that our distinct space outside. Inside, sorry. So that's it basically. So now padding adds space outside, while margin adds space inside. So we've been able to do three things at the same time. We've been able to talk about border, we talked about padding, we talked about margin, we talked about, so basically we have padding left, padding right, margin left, margin right, we have padding top, margin top. So that's it. Now for border, so let me just go deep into border a little bit. For border we have, okay, for padding we have padding, we have left, we have right, we have top, we have bottom. The same thing for this margin. For margin, so top, left, this. Then for border we have solid types of border. We have solid, we have dashed, we have double, we also have dotted. So you can go ahead, try it out and see how it looks. So this is for padding, margin, border. Now another thing I want to bring out here for padding also allows us to, instead of declaring what's it called, instead of writing padding left, padding right, padding bottom, right, you can also add padding also has a feature. It also allows you to declare everything at the same time, and then it works, right? The same way for border. That's what I used here for border. So I'm going to paste it up still under the same padding margin stuff. So instead of having okay, so I'll try to make this style readable by bringing this down, and then right, so so it's gonna be readable. So now this is what we have here. So even if you split this shift down, as far as you opened and closed it, like everything's still going to work. So what the CSS is looking at is what the whole page is looking at basically is this open and closing tag, and then your ability that you close to this. Do you understand? So like you close each individual style that you have here. So instead of having top, bottom, this, I can just come here and then let's minimize. Right? Now we can just have margin. And then instead of having left, top and bottom, we can either do it like this. You can either do top. So now this time around we are now doing our style on the axis level, right? So let's have our first line. So let's make it black and let's bring it down. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's bring it down. And this is how we are going to be thinking now. This is how we're going to be working. So now, while here, this represents what's it called? The X. Okay, this is the Y axis, right? Coming back to our mass coordinates, find our graph, right? And this is the what's it called? X. So now we can just have X, having X and Y, X to represent top and bottom, and Y to represent X to represent and Y to represent top and bottom, X to represent left and right. So now basically I can come to this side and say, okay, so I want my top and bottom, the margin between my top and bottom to be let's say 50 px. Now, and I want my right and left to be 10 px. You can even basically declare this like this. So you can have it 4 places. So you can say, okay, top and top, only top to be, let's say top. First of all, let's do this method and then we'll come back to how to minimize it more. First, top to be 20 px, bottom to be, let's say 30 px. Right? Left, that's our left side to be, let's take this coordinates that it's giving us. So now basically what's going to happen here is that from here we have our top, which is here, 30 px, our right, our bottom, which is 30, our left. So it goes on this coordinate. It goes like sorry, I forgot to mention. This is how it thinks. Let me get this pen too. This is how it thinks. It starts from here, goes here, okay, here, here, before coming so okay. So this is how it starts. So basically, whenever you have your what's it called? So it starts from the bottom. So the start, you donate this with the start. Okay, use this as, this is how it goes. Okay, this guy is good for this place. So the arrow starts from here, just place the bottom first, and it moves like this here, right? Stops at this place. So each of this value here that we have here, so it starts with this. Now you can also further minimize this. Instead of having it one after the other, you can just put 2. Let's say we want to have 40, 50 px. if I take this out, so automatically it will assume that my up and bottom, that's this two is going to take up what's it called, 40. It's going to be, it will do 40 up, 40 down, and then do this and this 50-50. Now you can even, if, let's say for example, I know you might ask me a question, what if you don't want to put up, let's say you don't want to add what's it called, let's say you don't want to have top and bottom, you just want to have let's say for example, the only place you want to give a margin, it's only let's say the left. Let's say you want to just give only one particular place, or you just want to give the top and bottom margin, but you don't want to give left and right margin. So for you to have that, you can come here and say, and just put 0. So if you put 0 here, it automatically means that this y-axis is going to be 0, so it's going to remain the same, while the x-axis is going to move. So I'm going to this is if you want to have single. The same way you can put x, so for single value. Okay. Single value. What happened to this guy? I'll just choose one of these to just, this for single value. Now if you want to have you can even talk, and you can even say, okay, I want to have I just want to add margin. Let's say I want to add margin on here and on the bottom and on this axis, but I want this guy and this guy to remain the same. Right, I can definitely come here and do, so the bottom you just do 10px, because it starts from the bottom, 10px, and then we do 0 for the top, then 50px for this left, and then you can just do 0 for the last one. So it means that you have 1 and 2 values. So this 1 and 2 value, it's this guy and this guy, right? This guy and this guy, basically. What am I even saying, safe? Let's get the point. I don't know. Okay, so the next one, I guess I need coffee. So now the next one, so let's talk about width and height. And width and height allows us to add width and height to an element. So allows us to add width and height to an element. So I'm going to copy this down. So I'll do together width and height. So width and height. And height. So now I'm going to take away these margins, or this margin stuff, but I'm still going to leave the border, because this border is very important. So this is what we have here. So this is our new, this for width and height. Now let's say we want to have width. Let's say we want to have the width. So width, let's say we want to have width. By default it's 100%. So by default it takes up the full the full width of any page. So let's say we want to decrease it to, let's say we want it to be 80%. Take just 80%. But we want the height to be, let's make it very big. Let's make it 400px. So let's see how big it's going to look. So this is it here, very massive. But let me reduce it. So I think it's too big. Let's have it 200. That's it. So basically this is it. So width allows us add width, height allows us add it. We can even do this further. We can even decide to let's add background color. I think we've talked about background color, right? Yeah, let's add background color of I don't know, background color of green, and then let's make our text color, sorry, color all the whole text here we want to make it white. So let's go. How many minutes? Okay. What's happening? I did not show you. What happened? This guy and necessary wahala. Where did I wrong anybody here? Let me see. Oh, what's happening? Let me just do red. Oh, we've done background color. What's up? Did I spare the background color? Oh, pardon me, I beg. God. Also watch out for typos, please. So we have it here now. So we have it here. So this is it here. Voila. So we talk about width, height. Now we have two type of elements in in web development. We have two type of tag. First tag we have inline tags and we have inline tags and we have block tags. Now inline tags are tags that when you put them on the page, automatically it makes everything on the other, like it makes every other it takes up the full width or the full height of that page. Now let me show you an example here. Let me show you something. Now look at this now. If I should look at, okay, I put like, okay, good. Let me show you using this. Yes, you can drag this more. Okay, you can drag the side. I don't really need this, guys. See what I need basically to show you this guy. Now, so coming over to this place now. Notice these tags now. When you know when you know an element, to know an element that's an inline element and a block element, this blue item here shows you definitely this is a block element, because one, it takes, this blue shows that this element spans from the beginning to the ending of that page, of that particular line. And you notice that I can't add any other thing on this line, right? Anything I try adding will take up the next line. So to show you that this is an inline element, not block element. An inline element are elements that allows you to add text, to add things on the same line with other text without taking up the full width or height of any element. So list of inline elements. So let me list some of them here. List of inline elements. We have list of inline elements. You have span. Span is an inline element. Strong is an inline element. Okay, basically let me have this on the same line. We have which other one? Italics, that's I. These are inline elements. These are plenty of other inline elements that we have here. Now block elements are these and more, right? P tag, heading tags, divs, right? These are lists of inline and block elements. Now, what happened now? So, why am I saying all of this now? We have an CSS attributes that allows you to convert inline elements to block element and block elements to inline elements. So basically, it's called display. So display allows us to what's it called? Display shows us how to display elements. So how we want elements to be displayed, right? Whether inline, block, or what's it called? Any of them, right? Inline, block. So that's it. Now let me show you. Let me drop it up. Let me bring it out here. So this for this. Display. So now so display, okay, you just have your div, you have a couple of p tags, okay. Now by default, if you look at this, I'm still recording. Okay, good. So by default, when you look at this, you see all of them are on the same, on different lines, because they are inline, they are block element. If I should come here and do, let me shift, so we have space, time, I have display, inline. Oh, sorry. So I have to add it at each individual element, not on the top. So basically, I'm going to just paste this, this. So this is how we have it now. So instead of being on the same line, on different line, because by default they are block elements, they take up the entire space. Now we now have inline elements, right? Now for us to even further make this more interesting, you can do padding. So I can just decide to add padding. So to add space in between each element, I can do padding of let's say top and bottom. We don't need anything for top and bottom, so we just need basically to do left and right. So let's do 20px left and right. So I'll just copy this last one, So that is it. We have spaces each in between. So let's say we want to have top and bottom. You can basically like change this. So let's say you can have, let's say 10px top and bottom for this. So this is it, right? This is it. Now this is for inline. So if I make this, okay, so the next thing I want to show you, so this is us doing convert it to inline. So block. So now we can have a span tag, which is let's say we have span text 1, 2, 3. So by default, span tags, this is how it's displayed, but we want to change all of them. So I'm going to copy up this. Right? See the same thing, just change this display type. Not much. So at the individual of the span, so I can just do block. What the heck happened? Why did it not turn to inline? What's happening? What just happened? Okay. Sometimes this takes some time to load. So after even loading it by default, you should just maybe give it small time so for it to maybe finish rendering your entire page. But at some point, it will just look like as if you're doing nonsense. So now we've suddenly turned inline elements and block elements to inline, and then inline to block element. This is where we're going to stop here. So the next one is opacity. So opacity allows us to control the visibility of an element, and then it starts from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1. So we have let's have, I don't need to put it in anything. I just have p tag, and let's see how it's going to look. So let's just put text control. So now we have our style. So you just put opacity. I have opacity. So this 0.5, let's say I don't look. Look at it's looking. So sometimes, so you might ask what's important of this, right? So sometimes you might just have a text that You don't want it to be that loud, but you just want it to be there, right? Like a watermark or something. Let's say you want to probably show that there's a watermark on a page. Opacity is the best way to show it. So the more I increase, like the more I go down, so it's gonna be more faint. So it's looking more faint. It's still here. So if it's 1, so it has from value from 0 to 1. So 1 is the full, right? From 0 to 1. That's opacity. Now we have visibility. Visibility allows you to hide or show elements, right? Let's say for example we have something on your page, right? You don't want it to show, but when a user performs an action, so that particular stuff shows. Let's say for example a warning. You can have a warning that doesn't show on your page, but it's on your page, only shows when an action is performed, right? So that's visibility. Let me just get, I wrote it down on a note. So visibility. So I just have a p tag. I think it's almost 1 hour already. To show, let's call it visibility, or hide. Let's call this hide. Hide me. So we have our style. Okay. Visibility hiding. We also have, you can, okay, so visibility hidden. Now visibility also allows you to put pass in either hidden, block, flex. The same thing you can pass on your display. The same thing you can pass it back on this. You can do visibility hidden and then visibility block to show back text that you have hidden on your this thing. So now this guy, what is happening? Write me now. Why is she still showing? I don't know what's happening. But anyway, sure. There's no visibility height of something. Is there no visibility? What's happening? Why are you not hiding this text? There's visibility. Please hide our text. So I don't know why it's not hiding, but visibility turns it off. So moving to the next one, we'll talk about I think I will just talk about 3 more items. Wrap it up. Wow, I have a lot of stuff on this note. Good. The only thing is that we just use it as we go, right? So the next one is box shadow. Border radius first. Let's do border radius, and then we do box shadow. Talk about background. So let me list out things that I want to talk about so that I don't see it. Because plenty. The truth is, one thing about CSS is that you cannot even exhaust CSS. Like basically, the truth is that you cannot even exhaust CSS. right? You cannot exhaust CSS. Trying to exhaust CSS might take you the whole year, like, and you are not even done. I even till now I'm still learning. Like, so there are styles that you want to do, and then you just have to go and do your research and come back and be like. So what I just want you to learn is just learn the core basics. What you just need to be using every day. So this is what we're just gonna do, and then we wrap up. So I'm trying to just get it out. Border radius. Talk about I'm a fan, man. Have I dropped border radius? Let's talk about border radius. Border radius. Text shadow. Talk about text shadow. And then we call it up, man. This video is up to 1 hour, right? Yeah, this is 1 hour 7 minutes. So should we talk about what else? Legs. Then we'll talk about responsive design. Wow, this guy is carrying me to somewhere I don't want to go to. Oh my guys. Let's just do as much as we can. I'm trying to get things on my notes. Just sitting that we could do. So okay, so we talk about responsive design. That's the last thing we talk about, and then we call it a wrap. Responsive design. Designs, and then we call it a wrap. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's run. Now, border radius allows us to change the way our radius is looking. Alright. Now, sometimes you've been to pages where you have nice looking buttons that they are not like square in shape. They have like some maybe nice looking shiny edges, right? So how to achieve it is we achieve those kind of styles using border radius. Where did I have my border radius on my? Okay. And so let's go. So we have a text. So now is the ntpx So text. So now border radius allows us to add to change like how a radius will look. So you can either write just one for the entire radius, and or the same way you can even put up like using that x and y axis that I showed. You can do change maybe different way, how like different looks. You can do like 20 px, so it means that up top and bottom is going to be 10 px while this is going to be 20 px. So let's make it something very evident so it will look very very sharp. So I'm going to first show you how let me show you all of them. So let me just do 50 px. So just see how it's going to look. So this is it here, 50 px. Now let's add padding. So let's add padding. So we have a couple of space within the stuff within the. So I'll just do for everything. I want it to have 10 px padding, and then I want it to be text aligned. The text within the text and the text within the this to be center. So text align center. So for this to look buildable, I'm going to break it down one after the other. So basically there's nothing much here. These are those styles that we've done in the past. So I'm trying to just combine as much as possible to just show you like you can have as many styles as possible. So as long as you just know what you want to design, so just keep adding your styles. You don't have any rule. There's no rule that says you can only apply 10 styles or 20 styles to a particular element. You can apply as long as 100 styles, and then as long as you just know what you want to do with those elements. Nobody gives anything about it. So now this basically we have this text. So we have this text centered. So text align center, made this text to be center. So padding 10 px. So this automatically makes every like 10 px here, 10 px, 10 px, 10 px. So that's what we have here. So we have the height of 20 px and the width of 50%. So that's why it's more. So 50% is half of this page. This is half of this page basically. Then we had our border. So that if we don't have border, there's no how we can identify whether the radius was working. So that's why we added our border radius. So we did 2px. So we want it to be as good as 2px. So you can even have let's say 10px. Nobody cares, right? So it's just you and your design, and then whatever you want to implement that has to see like how thick or how this is how it will be if it's 10px. Well, let me take it back to 2px. I think it's going to look more amazing here. God of Elijah. Now, so basically this is border radius. So border radius allows us. So you can even tweak this. So this is for full, for all. For all parts. Now you can decide to do individual parts. You can decide to do individual part. Let's say I want to just top. So I can just have only my top the top parts. So I can decide to have just the top. So I can just do So using that same principle, so I can just do my top, just the top, 10px or 50px, and then do 0 to have just the top. I guess probably I have a lot of applications on at the same time. I don't know. Plus, and then this application I'm using to run this to do the recording. It's very heavy. I guess it's why it's lagging, right? My system is lagging a bit, so I don't know how to increase the speed. I guess we'll be fine. We've recorded for like 1 hour and my system is hot. God. Okay. So now notice something very funny, that this hide that did not work, it's not working. So we don't have that hide me again. So I guess with time we're still going to, I don't know, do what I asked it to do, but for now, wait. Oh shit. Wait, let me see. Is it better to stop? This should work. Okay, on this. So one thing I didn't talk about border when I defined border. You can even have border for, like, you can sign up to have what's it called, border left, right. Okay, this is what we had. This is what we have. So basically it took this part and this part, right, and just made it just take the x, y and the y axis, like just made it, wow, looking fine, but it's funny. So if we want to move, like, you can see even without using this method. Okay, let me show you another way, another method. You can still decide to just do, I think, border reduce. Okay, border reduce doesn't allow that. Just to, another thing that I forgot to tell you guys is that you can decide to have border for only one particular aspect. You can decide to have border for one particular aspect, not the whole. Right? You can decide to have border for only the right part, like left or right. And you can just do border top to just have top and do, let's say, 10px. To have top to just have border on the top, right? You can do left, right. The internet is free, like, do your research, right? I just want to lay basic foundation so I can just move into the project part. This for border reduce. Now the next one we want to talk about is shadow. Now shadow allows us to add shadow to thickening. Oh, there's no even good way to explain this. But let's just use it. Just use it basically. Yes. So for my notes, I just got this back. So this adds shadow effects around an element useful for visual depth. So I don't have the strength of copying this one after the other, getting this, like, let me just show you and then I will explain. Aiba. So can have some elements, so some text, so box. Let's call this box. Just have, okay, to have readability. I'll move it to the next line. Space it. Now let me explain this. Now this acts up the x and the y axis, and this acts up to the what's it called, the thickness. And then there's another third element. Sometimes you do add this one. This add to the opacity or the fadeness of the background. So, but let's just text this out first, then we'll come back. So I'll just make this black instead of gray, so it will be very, very visible. So I'm going to increase the height. Also increase the height. Okay, let's see. So this is the background. We have this depth like a button. So So let me just increase the height and width and add some margin. Come on, guys. We are now writing code as what class people. 20px. So we have the width is okay, or should we decrease the width? So let's decrease the width to width. Let's just give width. So now, so this is where, okay, actually notice something here. Notice something here now. For the past 3 elements that we've been doing, we'll be repeating codes. We'll be repeating the same type of border. This, assuming we are using classes on ID, you can just, okay, let me just make this very sweet. I can come up to this place and have a style, a default style that I want to apply to any element I'm creating. So I can just come here and say, okay, so I'll call it a class because I'm going to apply it to plenty other elements. So I'll be like, I'll call this container. So because I'm going to be adding it to the mother div of every, so I'll call it container. So then I'll copy the style, this repeated style, like these repetitions that we had here, just one of them. So coming up to this place, container, so I'll paste it. So I'll do 50%. Then I'll add, should I add background color? Let's just leave background color. There's no need for background color. I'll just add margin. So it's going to be easy for me to just add margin. So margin of 50px each. So I'll just come here. Since the only style I want to apply to this particular individual, so I can just apply this inline and then add my class. I'll just do class of container. Then what do we have here? So I'll take out this and then just add class of container again. Shit. Class of container. Then carry this style, this padding style, and then carry it up here. Basically we need to be add padding to each one of this. So for each new element I'm going to explain now, each new what's it called, property, I just have a default style that works, right? So that nothing really changed much. So just for this, I have my box shadow, right? I don't know why this guy is not working. Well, this engine is taking time. Let's move on. What shadow allows you to add shadow? Now text shadow does the same thing, but instead of adding to the text, it adds to the main element. Same way padding adds elements, adds space to the inner element, while margin adds this to the outer element. Same way box shadow adds to the outside, while text shadow adds to the inside. So still the same concept, nothing much. I'm still gonna paste our container, and then instead of text shadow, I just have our box shadow, have our text shadow. So I guess I don't know why it's not working though, but I don't want to stress my head. So we have our text shadow here, we have our box shadow here. So that's the same thing. So let's talk about background image. So we've talked about how to add color. So now we need to learn how to add background image. You understand? So to add background image, we use the background image. And background image has a couple of properties. So we use them one after the other. We just basically use them together, right? Just use them together. Now I'm going to be putting up different properties that you can do on the background. So the first property you can add on the background is the background image itself. Okay, so I've added the background image. So this sets the background image. So we have background size. Now this can choose whether you want the background to cover up the entire page or you want it to take out some portions. Right? We have background position. Right? Now we have another feature, repeat or no repeat. So we still come after, we're still going to go through this one after the other, adding them and then see what they are doing. So now let's start with background image. So basically I'm going to add our div as usual. So I'm going to do our div. So one add a background div, this is a background image on this. It's even suggesting us something. let's go with the flow. Let's see how it's gonna look first. Why is it not showing our background image? We have our image at slash, so dots. So now you might wonder why I'm adding this slash. This slash actually means that it's on the home. Like it's here. Anything here, it's home. I don't know why it's not showing. So these guys are just, I don't know, messing up with my head here. Right. So if you notice here, we have a shadow on this text which did not show before. So this text has a shadow, this box has a shadow. So that's the difference between background text shadow and box shadow. I don't know why it's not showing. Like basically, I don't know why this guy is just trying to mess around with my head this evening. So I don't know why these guys are trying to just mess around with my head this evening. But either way, so I don't know, I had light issue now. Like this light shaked. I don't know. Let me on my monitor. Just give me a sec. Let me on back.